Hello everybody, it's Non-Seen Noobs here, and today we've got a lot of broken things today, and the first news we'll be talking about today is coming from the Russian Federation. So, if you remember on the last video we talked about how Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin were going to have a phone conversation. It has now obviously happened. So yesterday Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin held a phone call for about an hour and a half according to the White House. So let's just go over the key points from the Putin and Donald Trump phone conversation from the White House. So we will first go over the key points according to the White House, so the American from the American perspective, and then we'll go over to the Russian perspective. So the key statements according to the Kremlin. So first, key points from the Putin-Trump and the Putin-Trump phone conversation according to the White House is that Putin and Trump have agreed that the Ukrainian conflict needs to end with lasting peace. The two leaders stressed the need for improved bilateral relations between the United States and Russia. The leaders have agreed that the movement to peace will begin with an energy and infrastructure ceasefire, as well as a technical negotiations on the implementations of maritime ceasefire in the Black Sea and a full ceasefire and permanent peace. The presidents also discussed matters such as the need to stop the spread and escalation of strategic weapons and will engage others to ensure the broadest possible applications. Putin and Trump also concluded that a future with an improved bilateral relationship between the United States and Russia has a huge upside. The future also includes enormous economic deals and geopolitical stability when peace has been achieved in Ukraine. So that was the key statements according to the White House. Now let's go over to the key statements made by the Russian point of view, so the Kremlin. So, according to the Kremlin, Putin announced Russia's readiness to work with the United States on a comprehensive, sustainable, long-term solution for the Ukrainian conflict. Russia voiced its concerns about the prospects of a ceasefire, pointing out the poor track record of Ukrainian leadership, who repeatedly sabotaged and violated prior agreements. So again, this is from the Russian perspective, so this is not my words, this is coming from the Kremlin. Putin also informed Trump about a prisoner swap, which we'll be talking a little bit about later in this video. Both Donald Trump and Putin reaffirmed their commitment to jointly pursue the resolution of the Ukrainian conflict, and Putin approved of Trump's initiative to ensure a maritime traffic safety in the Black Sea, and further negotiations on this subject is expected to take place. Trump has also backed Putin's idea to organize a hockey match in the US and Russia between players playing in the NHL and the KHL leagues, the Kremlin said. So Putin actually offered some sportsmanship, so a hockey game between Russia and the United States, just as the first steps of cooperation between the two countries. Donald Trump stated that he wants more trade with Russia. According to Donald Trump, Russia has some very valuable things for us. They have a lot of rare earth. They have big chunks of real estate. So, big news. We've also got news that according to the US President Donald Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, he stated that I think we can get a full ceasefire in a couple of weeks. The Trump-Putin meeting will probably happen in Saudi Arabia very soon. So Steve Witkoff, the special envoy from Washington, has stated that Putin and Donald Trump will most likely be meeting in the near future in the capital city of Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh. So big news. We've also got news today that Putin signs 2 degrees in the law of the Russian Federation. Ukrainian citizens who are currently in Russia illegally must leave the country by September the 10th or be legalized. Foreigners in the Donbass and newly acquired territories of Russia are required to provide proof of their negative HIV status and drug use history by June the 10th. So Donald Trump is now, so Vladimir Putin is now sending an ultimatum to Ukrainian citizens who are currently in Russia illegally that they must leave the country by September the 10th or be legalized and become a Russian citizen. The next news we've gotten today is coming from the Leningrad Oblast in Russia. So we've got news that a Russian Mi-28 military helicopter crashed in the Leningrad region. The crew members died. So we don't know how it went down. Most likely, obviously, engine problem. So we've got news that a Russian Mi-28 military helicopter crashed in the Leningrad region. That as a result, the pilot and its crew members died. We've also got news of close encounters between a Russian MiG-31 interception fighter jet and a B-1B American bomber. So this was most likely in the Baltic or the Norwegians of the Barents Sea. So we can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see a Russian MiG-31 interception fighter jet intercept a B-1B, an American bomber. So big news. And the next news we've gotten today is coming from Ukraine. And obviously we started this video about Putin and Donald Trump's phone conversation. Right after Donald Trump had his phone conversation with Vladimir Putin, he called up Volodymyr Zelensky. So according to Trump, he stated that he had a phone conversation with Zelensky. It lasted an hour. The parties discussed the results of the contact between the presidents of the United States and Russia. The conversation with Zelensky was aimed at bringing the positions of the Russian Federation and Ukraine closer together. So Donald Trump stated that I just finished a very good phone conversation with Zelensky. It lasted about an hour. Much of the discussions was based on yesterday's call with Putin, with the goal of coordinating the requests and needs of both Russia and Ukraine. We are moving in the right direction, and I will ask the Secretary of State Marco Rubio and National Security Advisor Michael Waltz to provide a precise description of the issues discussed. The statements will be released shortly. So right after as Donald Trump held his phone conversation with Putin, he held a phone conversation with Volodymyr Zelensky, and according to this phone conversation between Volodymyr Zelensky and Donald Trump, Zelensky actually agreed to halt strikes on the Russian energy assets. So did Russia. He told Trump about it during his phone conversation early today, Bloomberg reported, citing a person familiar with the matter. So we've got news that both Russia and Ukraine have apparently verbally agreed to completely cease energy strikes on the two countries, and it seems it has already broken down. So we've just got news today that Russia's Sudzha gas pipeline located on the Kursk-Sumy border has just been hit. Russia says Ukraine has already violated the ceasefire proposed by the United States. So if you can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see the Sudzha gas station explode, and this is the location is along the Kursk, the Ukrainian and Russian border in this direction here in Sudzha. So it seems that the ceasefire has already been broken, and it seems that a Russian gas station, a Russian gas pipeline, which is obviously an energy resource, so it's a part of the ceasefire agreement, has already been broken. But it seems that the cooperation between Russia and Ukraine are not completely done. We've got news today that Russia and Ukraine conducted a prisoner swap. So Russia and Ukraine agreed to prisoner swap 175 fighters for 175 fighters. So you can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see 175 Ukrainian and Russian fighters returning to their native country. So interesting news. We've also got news today that Norway is going to be stepping up military aid to Ukraine, increasing it to $8 billion. So during Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to Norway, the Norwegian Prime Minister has announced that Norway will increase defense support for Ukraine to $8 billion. And the last news we've gotten today coming from Ukraine is that we've gotten some rumours that Ukraine may be removing the Commander-in-Chief Sursky after his failed offensive in the Kursk region. So Sursky has held the position for only a year as the head of the Ukrainian army, but he was appointed by Zelensky last February to replace Zaluzhia, a move widely seen as an effort to sideline a political rivalry. But he was replaced because of Ukraine's failure in the spring offensive or the summer offensive. So interesting news. So we've got some rumors of that Ukraine might be removing the commander-in-chief Sursky after the Kursk offensive failure. So again, this is rumors, hasn't been proven yet. The next news we've got today is coming from Hungary. So we've got news today that Hungary has banned pride parades in Hungary. So Hungary has just passed a law banning pride marches held by LGBTQ plus communities. Parliament voted for the measure just a day after the bill was submitted on Monday. So Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, praised the legislation, saying that it is harmful to children, saying that we won't let woke ideology endanger our kids. So Hungary has just banned LGBT pride marches in Hungary, and due to this banning of the pride marches, 136 MPs in the Hungarian parliament has just went on protests. And if you can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see Hungarian MPs actually protesting the ban of LGBT banning prides in Hungary. And we've also got some news today that Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, has just announced Hungary's referendum on Ukraine's EU membership. So the Hungarian government has just published a ballot with the question, do you support Ukraine's membership in the EU? With yes or no options. So the vote will be closely monitored, and the ballot is printed on secure paper to prevent fraud. The referendum is expected to take place soon. So there's going to be a referendum in Hungary to either accept Ukraine in the EU or deny it. So obviously, as you probably know, Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, is very against Ukraine joining NATO and the EU. So he's decided to hold an election or a referendum in Hungary to see if the people of Hungary want the Ukrainians and Ukraine to join the EU, and I'll keep you updated if it does. The next news we've got today is coming from Germany. So we've got news that the Bundestag of Germany, so that's basically Germany's parliament, has just voted and overwhelmingly to amend the German constitution to increase the national debt, which allows for a significant increase in spending. So in short, the German MPs have passed a major defense and infrastructure spending plan, potentially worth up to $1 trillion. Some Western resources are stating that with this bill, to invest $1 trillion in Germany's military and infrastructure could even potentially rival the Russian military. But I'm not really sure about that one, but we'll see what happens here. And the next news we've got today is coming from the Netherlands. So we've got news today that the Netherlands have reportedly plans to double its army personnel. So according to Dutch public broadcasters, NOS, the country wants to increase its army personnel from 74,000 to 200,000, with a special focus on enlarging the reservists' capacity. So the Netherlands is apparently looking for increasing its army from 74,000 to 200,000 personnel in the Netherlands army. So I'll keep you updated on that. And the next news we've got today is coming from Austria, where we've gotten some news that Austria has offered to host Russian and Ukrainian peace talks. So Austrian authorities have just announced that it is now ready to host both Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, and the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, to Vienna for peace talks. And the next news we've got today is coming from the Balkans. So we've gotten some huge news today, and it seems that regional tensions in the Balkans has yet again hit the roof. So we've just gotten news today that Kosovo, Albania and Croatia have just signed a trilateral defense agreement in the capital city of Albania, essentially forming a defensive military alliance. So, Albania's defense minister has just stated that other countries are also interested in joining the defensive military alliance between Kosovo, Albania, and Croatia. And it seems one country is very, let's say, not pleased with this, and obviously you can probably guess it, it's Serbia. So, Serbia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has called the alliance between Kosovo, Albania and Croatia as an open provocation. As you probably know, Serbia doesn't actually recognise Kosovo as a country, it recognises it as its own territory. It's the same deal with Taiwan and mainland China. Obviously, mainland China thinks Taiwan is a part of its country. It doesn't recognise Taiwan as a country, it recognises it as its own territory. It's the same situation with Serbia and Kosovo. We've gotten some more Serbian statements about the new military alliance. Serbia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that Kosovo, Albania, and Croatia's alliance is a targeted strategy aimed at isolating Serbia. Bulgaria has also been invited to join the alliance, Serbia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs noted. Serbia has also announced that it will not be accepting the alliance silently, according to Serbia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We've also got news that Montenegro, North Macedonia have also been informed that they are also welcome to join the new military alliance formed by Croatia, Albania and unrecognized Kosovo. And surprisingly, we had news today that the Latvian president has stated that he is also considering forming a defensive military alliance with Kosovo. And if you see in a map, Latvia is all the way in the Baltic states, not in the Balkans. So interesting news. So I'll keep you updated on this situation, but again, as we talked about, Serbia has vowed to respond to this new formed military alliance. We've also got news today that the Serbian government and Prime Minister have resigned following months of anti-government protests held across Serbia. So the President Aleksandar Vučić has just announced that unless a new government is formed within 30 days, snap elections will be called for early June. So Serbia's government is now apparently melting down when the Prime Minister has actually resigned in Serbia. So it seems that the cabinet of Serbia's authorities is resigning rapidly due to the huge protests that have been taking place. And the next news we've gotten today is coming from the country of Ireland. We've gotten news today that the renowned MMA fighter Conor McGregor has just announced his intention to run for the presidency of Ireland. So first it started off as a kind of a joke that Conor McGregor would run as president of Ireland. He's now actually going to be running for his candidacy of Ireland. So the next presidential election in Ireland must take place by 11th of November 2025. So I'll keep you updated on Conor McGregor's journey, if he becomes president or not, but I'll keep you updated on his journey to politics. We've also got news today coming from Algeria that an Algerian Su-30 military jet crashed in Algeria's Andra province. The pilot failed to eject and was killed during the crash. The next news we've gotten today is coming from Turkey. So we've got news today that the Turkish authorities have actually detained the Istanbul mayor, Erdogan, who is considered Erdogan, the president of Turkey's main rival in possible early presidential elections. So security forces reportedly raided the Istanbul's mayor's home, and according to the Istanbul mayor, he accused authorities of using the police for political purpose. So when the Istanbul mayor had obviously got detained, there was huge anti-Erdogan protest in Istanbul. So you can see here there's huge amount of people protesting against the president of Turkey, Erdogan. And as the The mayor of Istanbul was actually detained. The Turkish currency actually fell to a record low of 41. I'm going to mispronounce this currency's name, but I believe it's Ira to the dollar after the opposition Istanbul mayor Ekrem was detained on corruption and terrorism charges. And the next news we've got today is coming from Syria. We've got news that the German foreign minister has officially reopened the German embassy in Damascus, Syria. So she also is apparently having meetings with the president of Syria right now, but we don't have any news about that at this minute. We've also got news that the Kremlin reports that Putin has actually sent a message to the Syrian leader, Ahmed al-Shara, the interim president of Syria. Putin reaffirmed Russia's readiness to strengthen practical cooperation across the entire bilateral agenda with Syria. Putin supported the effort of the Syrian leadership to quickly stabilize the situation in the country. So Putin actually, according to the Kremlin, sent an actual personal letter to the interim president of Ahmad al-Shara of Syria to reaffirm Russia's readiness to strengthen and practical cooperation with Syria. And the next news we've got today is coming from Israel. So we've got news today that Israel has launched its ground operation into Gaza. So the Israeli forces have launched a ground operation in the central and southern parts of Gaza Strip in order to create a buffer zone, the Israeli Defense Ministry reported. So Israel has reportedly recaptured the key Nazarene axis in Gaza. So I believe it's this corridor here. So the Israeli forces have reportedly captured this whole corridor here, splitting again Gaza into two pieces in north and south. So for the first time in 2 months, the Israeli Defense Forces have launched a ground invasion of northern Gaza. The Hamas is saying that it won't be releasing any more Israeli hostages due to the breaking of the ceasefire on due to Israel's invasion of Gaza. This is according to Hamas. So it seems that the war in Gaza has resumed, and it seems that the ground fighting has yet again resumed and sparked out. So for the first time in 2 months, the Israeli Defense Army is fighting Hamas again for the first time in 2 months. And we've also got news that Ben-Gvir has just returned to the Israeli cabinet after Gaza war resumes. The Israeli parliament has actually approved the redeployment of the hardline politician as the national security minister. So this politician here in your bottom left corner, Ben-Gvir, previously quit his position after over the ceasefire deal with Hamas, and it seems that the Hamas and Israeli ceasefire deal has completely collapsed. Therefore, he has resumed his position. So interesting news. And the next news we've got today is coming from Yemen. So we've got news of further escalation in the Red Sea between America and Yemen, or the Yemeni Houthis. So we've got news that US fighter jets have managed to shoot down Houthi attack drones over the Red Sea. So we can see here in your bottom left corner, we can see US fighter jets shoot down Houthi attack drones in the Red Sea using laser-guided rockets. And it seems that the Houthis have responded by shooting down an American drone. We've got news that the Houthis claim to have shot down another US MQ-9 reconnaissance drone over center Yemen. So you can see this video here in your bottom left corner. The Houthi authorities are claiming that they have shot down another Reaper drone, and according to official sources, the average unit cost of the MQ-9 Reaper drone is approximately $56.5 million, and allegedly this is the 16th MQ-9 UAV drone that had been downed by the Houthi forces, bringing the estimated total cost of $900 million in Reaper MQ-9 losses alone over Yemen. So There's been clashes in the Red Sea. We've also got news, if you can see here in the bottom left corner, the US also launched another strike in the capital city of Yemen, Sana'a. If you can see here, according to the CENTCOM forces, they are saying that the planes don't sleep. So, confirming that the US forces are striking Yemen one after the other consecutively, day after day. And that's all the news we've got on regarding Yemen and America. We've also got news today coming from Iran that France's foreign ministry has urged all French citizens to leave Iran immediately, causing curiosity and suspicion of a potential conflict between America and Iran. We've also got news coming from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. We've just got news today that the Ugandan army has entered the Congo's territory and captured the huge Congolese city of Magai. I think that's how you Maghagai. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So we can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see Ugandan army capture the town of Magai in East Democratic Republic of the Congo. So it seems that while the Congo is struggling to fight against the M23 Rwandan-backed rebels, Uganda has taken the opportunity to start an offensive in the Congo, capturing this big town or city here. We've also got news today that the M23 Rwandan-backed forces have managed to capture the major city of Wakel, this major Congolese city here. So clashes over the city lasted 24 hours plus until the Congo military forces eventually withdrew. And the next news we've got today is coming from North Korea. So we've got news today that Kim Jong-un has personally oversees test fire of a new anti-aircraft missile system, state news agency of North Korea reports. So if you can see here in the bottom left corner, the successful test fire confirmed the new anti-aircraft missile system's rapid response and reliability, the Korean Central News Agency reported. So North Korea's reported that it has produced and unveiled its new anti-aircraft missile system, which if you can see here in the bottom left corner, I believe it shot down like a drone or something. We've also just got news today that Shoigu, which was the previous defense minister of Russia, has just arrived in the capital city of North Korea, Pyongyang, for a meeting with Kim Jong-un. So this confirms further cooperation between North Korea and Russia. Russia is now regularly sending Shoigu to North Korea to boost a cooperation between North Korea and Russia. We don't have any news of the meeting between the two officials yet, but next video we'll see if we have any news about that. But most likely they're probably discussing ammunition transfers to Russia to keep them fighting the war in Ukraine, and in return Russia might be providing agricultural goods like animals like goats, cows, or technology. So interesting news. The next news we've gotten today is coming from the United States, which is the last news we've gotten today. We've got news that JFK assassination records have just been released. The US National Archives declassified more than 80,000 pages of files, so you can now actually look at the JFK assassination records that have been released. So it's fully been released, reports are stating. We've also got news today that Donald Trump, the President of the United States, also signed an executive order to begin eliminating Federal Department of Education. So Donald Trump has signed the order to begin eliminating Federal Department of Education. We've also got news today that the International Space Station has reported the return of the two astronauts from the International Space Station that have been stranded there in space for 9 months. So if you can see here in the bottom left corner, we can finally see the two astronauts return to Earth. So big news. We've also got news today that the Pentagon is going to be cutting 60,000 jobs. We've also got news that the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, threatened Venezuela with new severe sanctions if it doesn't accept the deportation flights without excuse or delays. And that's all the news I actually have for you today. I'm Non-Seeing News. I'll try and provide you news that medias around the world do not show you. I do these videos hopefully daily, so consider subscribing and liking. If you want to help me personally, please consider donating in the link in the description below. You can either help me through the PayPal link in the link in the description below, or even become a member of the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.